Welcome to the Voice for Dads podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of Voice for Dads. I've got another special guest in the studio with me. His name's William. Hi, William.
How you doing, Scott?
I'm good, mate. Thanks so much for coming down.
Thanks a lot for having me.
William's from Glasgow, and we kind of met on TikTok. So we did reached out to him, we spoke, and now he's here today in the studio. So, thanks so much for coming down.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for what you're doing with Voice for Dads. And it's a message to give dads a voice, as I was saying just before I came on, to give dads a voice, to hashtag it Voice for Dads at the end of this. When you get to the end of the podcast, you stick with us long enough. The dads have got a voice, whether it's good or bad. You're a dad and your kids love you, and you can do anything in this world, and you can use social media as a good tool to say Voice for Dads. This is me. I love my children. I'm stepping up for my children. I want to see my children and I love them to pieces, and this is what I mean. This is Voice for Dads. So hopefully we can get to the end of the podcast and dads can get inspiration from it.
Aye, absolutely, mate, absolutely. So we purposely haven't really spoke much about your own situation, just touched on it because we want to get it as we're recording.
Aye.
So I know you've got two kids.
You
know,
aye.
I know very limited stuff about you, but we're here. The floor is yours. You know, tell us, why is Voice for Dads? You know, why is it something that you kind of picked up on and thought I want to be part of that?
So when I'll go back to my story and take it for there and take it why I came to go through custody battles to see my kids, and I'll start for the start in Glasgow. So back in 1985, I was born into homelessness in Glasgow. I was named William Alexander Lamont. My mum had me at 16 to my dad. My dad was a Catholic and my mum's dad was in the Orange Lodge. So that's how they called the name William Alexander Lamont. My granda found out that my mum was showing my dad to me and parked her at the house, and she was homeless alone with me for 2 years, and we got our first house in Pembroke Street at 2. So the first 2 years of my life I was homeless. Then fast forward time to I was 7. I was fighting in the streets. I was hit with bricks. Stabbed somebody with a rusty nail in the belly. I caused lots of friction inside the street. By 9, my mum's motor was blown up. I don't know why it was blown up. And I was getting these early memories of mum and dad, the friction of that life, when mum and dad are kind of separated with parents before them and other people. They didn't go through court or anything like. My mum handed me to my dad. And then at 11, I went to stay with my dad because I started to talk to my mum like the way my dad talked to her. And my mum says, go and stay with him then. So I stayed with my dad and thought the sun shone out his backside.
So the first, say, 10 years, 11 years, did you have your mum and dad in your life?
I had my dad. I didn't have my dad for the first 2 years, really. Right. My dad got a house in Maryhill. It was I don't know if it was a rented house or whatever. And my mum stayed in Anderson, and my dad kind of moved in with my mum and had me all the time. He was in and out, but my dad was a woman's man, so that's
so you've been about the town.
I got his bad habits.
You had a rough upbringing, but you had both parents in your life.
Aye.
From 2 until 11. You go and stay with your dad.
Aye.
Right. Okay.
And then my dad takes his watch Celtic. We were poor, and then my dad just won a football cup, and he came out a bit of money and showed me a good life. It showed me a good life in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 when he had the money. We went to see Celtic play abroad and we had a good time. It was all about Celtic, good times with my dad and just being a lad. At 16 I was in Prague and got my woman when my dad was happy to see me do that, and I kind of followed his rule. I thought it was normal to go and do all that sort of stuff, but then I realised I had a problem in my mind I didn't understand. I started looking into my past when it was undiagnosed mental illness. So we'll get into that in a minute. But times with my dad were fantastic. But my mum was my best pal now. My dad was my best pal when I was younger. But me and my mum were like that, and it's like I learned that they were fighting battles with each other. The two of them loved me, but they didn't love each other. Yeah. And my mum accepted that, and she would let him go with other women and stuff as long as she had me. And that's why my mum can't understand the custody battles I'm in, because she's like, I would have handed the kid to your dad, and so that was old school, like dads get the kid, and my mum believed that, and it's just I never had a problem whereas did I go through court. I would see my mum and dad, and I got to age 11, I got to stay with my dad to 16, and then I ended up following the crowd, and when you follow the crowds, you don't get anywhere in life, and I end up in prison. I end up the same as my pals.
When did you first go to prison? What age was you?
16 or 17. I got a 5-week remand.
Right.
It was the time for the slop-out compensation. I remember getting that, so it was that long ago. That's when you peed in a bottle, and instead of, you didn't have a toilet in the cell at the time, you peed in a bottle, and everybody got compensation for peeing in the bottle because somebody won rights for peeing in the bottle. So I got a 5-week remand, and I ended up getting compensation, a couple of grand for it. So that was the first time in prison. The 5-week remand went bad because I shouldn't have got to jail in the first place. It was for a lock-back knife, but it didn't lock back. It was a wee tiny thing, a corkscrew on it. It flicks with a corkscrew and a knife that doesn't bend back, and I got to jail for it. A boat over there. There was a breach of the peace, and I went to court, the district court, and it says, I'll give you a 5-week remand because William Robertson's got loads of previous. They mixed me up with somebody else, and before I knew it was employment, I got out, and then I was running the same pals, doing the same things. We're all the carrying and stuff like that, and I got a 2-year sentence for knife crime in 2004 to 2005. I got in the 5th of May 2005 with a public island topping a flute. That was the kind of process of learning in the jail about Bobby Sands and like to use the pen and paper, because it learned us a lot about prison, because I didn't do the same as the rest of the prisoners. They says use in here. Everybody else was building that, and everybody forgot to build that. And he would write, he says people watch the telly or watch the dots, and you've got to educate yourself. You've got to fight for something bigger than what's in you. And it was finding that spirit in myself. So Bobby Sands was my first inspiration.
So did you come out of prison a better person than when you went in?
I thought I did. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I've always had the same character. I don't think character changed, but the things you do change, the people and situations and environments you put yourself in change. But me as a person, I don't think I actually changed. I was inspired by words and philosophy, and words and philosophy changed who I was as a person, and I think I became a better person. But I got back out when I got out of Pullman. I met a girl in Benidorm. I had a couple of year relationship with her. I worked for AIG, the insurance company, in sales. I worked for Sky First AIG. I was getting the driving lessons and that, and I went a night out with my old pals. The first time I'd seen them in ages.
When you get out of prison?
When I got out of prison, I got my life together. 2005, if I may, I got out. So I'm saying about 18, 19. And then I'm not sure in ages, but 2007.
When were you born? 85?
85, aye.
So you were 20?
20 I would go out then. I've not thought about it that way, but I got in 2004, 2005, got my life together. So it was my character. I was going into different situations and environments.
Yep.
And what I done is I went back into the old environment to meet my old mates. And one of them's turned up with a Subway cape, mad with it, and we've ended up going to a night out in Dumfries. And I got for a 4-year sentence, 32 months for fighting in a nightclub. One night out, and that lassie stood by us all the time in prison. And for 2006. So 2005 I got out, 2006 she stayed with us the full time in prison. 2008 I got out of Ballina.
Right, so you get out 2005, 2 years after doing 2 years.
Aye.
How long before you're back in after being in Dumfries for this?
I think it was August 2006. So it wasn't that long. I got out in May 2005.
Right.
And Dumfries was 2006. It was a fight in a nightclub.
Right, so you're out for about a year, and then you go to Dumfries for a nightclub and get in a fight.
Aye.
And then how long do you get for that?
32 months. They gave us 4 years with a third half, because if you plead guilty you get less a sentence. So I got 32 months, and then the 32 months halves again.
Right.
And
what were you charged with?
I was charged with 3 assaults, 1 serious assault, permanent disfigurement, a breach of the peace, and one of the boys I punched didn't have a broken nose at the time. But he had a broken nose 2 weeks later when the hospital reports came in, and I found out his dad was a police. And then when I was in Dumfries, I started rioting and stuff like that. I started going to solitary confinement, and we had a riot in Pullman. But in Dumfries, I started attacking people.
So you say in Dumfries, you go to jail in Dumfries?
Got to jail in Dumfries,
right,
remanded in Dumfries.
Right, okay.
And then they say if you fight, you go to Ballina. So the first thing I done is we didn't fight to go to Ballina. It wasn't the fact that
you wanted to go to Ballina?
I wanted to go to Ballina. They just say to the prisoners in Dumfries, you're going to Ballina as if it's a bad thing if you fight. So I fought to go to Ballina, and they put us down the digger. So I was doing the digger for 30 days, and then they was like, you're not going out here.
The digger being solitary confinement?
Solitary confinement, aye.
So you're in a cell on your own?
Aye.
How long each day?
30 days.
But how long are you in that cell for? 23 hours a day?
23 and a half hours.
23 and a half hours a day.
Aye, and in Dumfries, it's like there's a remand wing, and then it's the people who've done naughty crimes. So the remand wing, they put you in with the people, you're underneath all the people that do the naughty things, and you got to exercise your cell, and you go back in your cell, but you can see through the doors, them, and it just wasn't a nice environment.
So were you thinking you go out and fight, get to Ballina, and what, you'll be around people that you would gel with better, around mates?
I've been in Glasgow, and I'd be close to my mum and my girlfriend, because they were travelling to Dumfries to see me. I know travelling, I know back.
So this happens, you get into a fight, and then you end up in solitary confinement. Do you then think, my plan never worked to get to Ballina?
My plan didn't work. I was fucked. And then the governor's like, you think you're a wee hard man, he pointed the pen in my, you'll never get out of here, you'll never get out of this environment, you'll be a revolving door. Once you go, you'll be back in and all that, and you put heavy down on us. But I got out in 2008.
Right, so 2008. And how much of your time did you do in the Dumfries jail? Did you get to Ballina?
I would go to Ballina. Me and my co-accused went to Ballina. He got 9 months. I got 32 months, and the other one got half of nothing.
Right, okay.
I don't know why he got half of nothing though. let's just say he was fly.
Right, okay. So, right, so you've got to Berlin and you're doing your second prison stretch. Then you get out. What happens then?
I get in Berlin. I do the gym doctor's course. I did a rowing competition. I did educate myself. I passed English, IT, and courses online. On the SVQs.
Right.
They get online. You're allowed on the computers in jail.
Right.
And you pass IT courses and stuff like that. So I passed my courses. I got in 2008. And I was tagged. I got early because at the start I was very violent, and I became different, and I became a model prisoner. Ended up the hot plate and stuff like that.
How did that happen? How did you change?
Because I was my people, and I was.
So when you said you were violent, was that in Dumfries still, you mean?
You can't be violent in Glaswegians, they'll fucking hit you back.
But you are a Glaswegian, so... Right,
I understand each other.
So you get to Berlin, right, and then you change in Berlin, so you're happier in Berlin.
Aye, I found my peace.
Right.
I was at peace and solitude. I went to Berlin. The first day I was in Berlin, I attacked somebody for Dundee because he didn't give us enough custard. Get one of the typho things or custard or something.
Yeah.
These suck wings with stuff in it with the twirly. He didn't give his wire. He told me to go to the back of the queue, and I tried to go for him, and the Berlin screws fold you like an envelope. The fucking up there, in a box straight in. It's a different queue. You don't get away with it. You're getting hurt, and the screws hit you and all. They don't mess about, and it's just the way it is. You learn your lessons in there. You can't be tough guy in there. You can be tough guy in Dumfries because it's a small town. But you can't be tough guy in Glasgow. It doesn't work like that.
No, nobody takes anyone's shit.
No, I've got hundreds of wounds and I've got no teeth and things like that for being in Glasgow and going through it. So I know the wars, and it's not a place you can mess about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Glasgow's the friendliest city in the world.
The people make it.
Smash your face in, but then help you get to the hospital. Right, so you're in Berlin. You come out of there. Do you feel a changed man yet? Do you feel like
I want to get my life in order, but I was on a tag, and then I was just like, my dad went to Australia, and he left me in the house myself with the money and woman every night, and being like my dad, and think I was probably big bucks, but money runs out. And
how long did your dad go to Australia for?
I think it was 2 months, 8 weeks or something.
Right.
But I realised the full time I was on a tag. He went and travelled. My dad's done everything. So had a bad life.
I take it he went to Australia thinking you'll be all right at home because you're
I'm tagged and I'll no do it. And so I ended up letting all my mates in, and we had parties and Furrier. And you don't leave a kid just out of prison, give his freedom with a bag of money and say go and do whatever. And it's like, I just love what my dad.
You're what, 23, 24 at this point?
Aye.
Okay. So then what happens after your dad's away?
The girlfriend that stood by me and that whole time in prison, I ended up cheating on her and being an arse, and she was probably my first love, and she ended up sticking by us through prison, sticking by us all that time. I went to Greece with my pals. I bumped credit cards. I didn't bump other people's credit cards. I bumped my own credit.
Right.
I went to the banks and put £300 in the bank and lifted the £300 out, and then did it to next bank. And then I went in, they were like, why did you keep taking money in and out? It's like, because I never get any credit in it. Like, listen, we can give you a loan, we can give you credit cards, and every one I'd done it with the mall.
Right.
So I took like a couple of grand at the mall and got the credit, the loan, the credit cards. I went to Greece, and I was.
What year is this?
2008. That's why I'm on the tags. The holiday was booked with my pals. All my pals moved the holiday after I finished my tag, so I'd go to Malia with them.
Right.
Crete and Heraklion for the 18 to 30 holiday. And I told my missus I would do it when I went, and obviously I was doing the stuff before I went.
And she found out.
She knew it. She knew it, and she didn't want it. I don't know. She was just a bit like, I don't know her thinking behind it. I think deep down she probably knew, and because I was an arse. I wasn't an arse to her. I wasn't like, I was like my dad, just went woman to woman, and it wasn't. I'm not proud of it. It's something you do when you're young. And I went to Malia for a 2-week holiday, and I had all the money, I had all my pals, and I had an idea that I was going to have the time of my life. But at the same time, I didn't know if I was going to end my life at the end of the 2 weeks, because I was suicidal. I had enough for life, and I thought to myself, end it after the 2 weeks. But God intervened, I think, and says, listen, you're getting sectioned here. So I ran a bit mad and ripped up money, and I was talking about religion and philosophy. And
this is in Greece?
In Greece.
When you're away with your mates?
Away with my mates. So everybody's on sun loungers, and I'm running around telling people the world's going to end, and I'm ripping up money on the beach, and they've ended up just like, you're in the ambulance. My mates have got us into the ambulance, and they're like, calm down, and I'm in the hospital. and I've got a drip wire, and I've ripped the drip wire out my arm, and the blood started squirting, and I've followed that like it's down, they were shouting in Greek, and I'm like, shoot me, and then they've tasered us, and the next thing I woke up in a high security asylum in Greece with a padded cell with no way out. So I was like, I went from one extreme to another here. So
wow. So when you went to Greece for this holiday, how long before this happened, before you're in the back of an ambulance, did you have like a good week?
I didn't sleep for a week.
No?
Didn't sleep for a week. I'm not sure if I was there for 10 days or 2 weeks.
Right.
But I didn't sleep for a week. And that was
towards the end of the holiday then?
So way towards the end of the holiday, 2 days to go,
right.
I got sectioned. So everybody went home and left me. So I had 14 pals and 13 of them went away, and not one of them stayed with us.
Well, what could they do though?
They couldn't stay with us, but my dad was the other side, so they were communicating with my dad and my ma,
right.
so they could come here on the plane. So I wasn't left. They couldn't do it. They couldn't. But I mean,
aye, but nobody could surely come into a hospital with you if it's an insane asylum. Like,
no, the hand is in Chris and Juice.
Oh right. Okay.
but I mean, none of them could have said. I probably says that wrong. None of them could have stayed with us. They had to go home.
Aye.
We're young boys. We know enough money. We're 18 to 30. You spend all your money in that week.
Yeah. So do you think? I take it if you were on a lot of drugs.
No, but to go to get drugs, I was on Pro Plus. But right. I didn't sleep because I didn't know I was undiagnosed bipolar at the time. So bipolar 1, there's two types of bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1's got mania, and mania means no sleep. Right. Mania means no sleep, means in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. You don't sleep, and your energy doesn't go down. You don't get tired, and you get up. So I had mania.
So you didn't know at this point
that
you were going to get diagnosed? Obviously, this is before you got diagnosed.
So I didn't sleep for all the days, and my mates knew I wasn't sleeping.
Right, okay.
I didn't know it was up, but once I got in the ambulance, I got sectioned. I got sedated, I got wrapped up, and I was jagged in the backside. Got the Clipixo medication that would probably be in the Aquaphase. I had a psychotic episode, so that's basically they inject you, and so it knocks you out. They get you to sleep, because mania, you don't sleep.
Right.
That's the one thing with mental health and bipolar. People that suffer bipolar 1, they get mania and they don't sleep, and they're erratic, and it's just it's a horrible illness.
So you've woke up, you're in this padded cell.
Aye.
What happened next?
I remember looking, there was a wee hole you could look at that way. It was like bits of chicken, but the other Greeks ate it before you. So it just passed the chicken round really, and so I wasn't eating it. It was like that sort of stuff, and I tried to run against the wall, try to get out. I was not getting out of padded cell. So I just wanted my freedom. I wanted out. It was the most horrible time of my life, but at the same time, it makes sense. It didn't make sense at the time, and I didn't think it was wrong with us. And then they let us out the padded cell into the hospital wing with other patients.
How long were you in the padded cell for?
About 6 days.
Right, okay.
6 days or something maybe. And then I got out, and they let us to use my credit cards, and then you could take money out the machine in the hospital. Right. And I started buying all the patients' pizzas and all that, and then the wee Greek villagers were coming up and giving me like fruit and stuff like that. So I'm sitting having a feast every day, buying like 6 pizzas, Coca-Cola and all that, and asked if I get alcohol. My dad, that's like, you can't get alcohol. It's like,
so you're right, okay, this is a lot. So you're in this hospital, you get moved to the padded cell to the wing, you get access to money.
Aye.
And then you can go back to having the time of your life in the hospital.
But it's just pizza and Chris and that, wasn't it?
You're not getting booze
we're
or
all nuts,
girls.
and I think the telly's followers, and I think they're all manic, and it's mad, and eventually just like jag and tablets until you're like that, and then you get a wee high, and you're just trying to you don't know you're ill. But I fun compassion for people when I was in there.
Right.
My mum was there. My missus at the time came all the way here. We went in the toilet, and that's when she found out I was cheating on her, because I slept with her in the toilet, and she went home and found out I'd slept with somebody. So
I was guessing there. How did she find out?
She just says if I find out you've been cheating on us, she says she's got to get tested.
Aye, so she got tested and she caught something.
Aye,
right, okay. So what happened then? Did she split with you?
I got back for Greece. I got flown over for Greece to Scotland. The psychiatrist was sitting beside me in an aeroplane, so we gave me drugs in an aeroplane as well, so I could get into Stoke Hill. I was straight into Stoke Hill, and I don't know if she came in the hospital to see us, but I think she just split with us. Like he's gone. Yeah.
So how long were you in that hospital for in Greece?
A few weeks. No long. It was just a few weeks. It was.
And then you basically got escorted from the hospital back
to Stoke Hill.
Straight to Stoke Hill.
Aye.
And what is Stoke Hill?
Stoke Hill Hospital. It's a mental hospital, so you've got different halls. I was in McKinnon House, but it's all got different wings for different people in different levels.
Right.
There's a high security one called McKinnon House where you get locked up and you don't get out at all. You're 24/7 in there. You don't
Was that the one you were in?
That's when I was in.
Right. And have you been diagnosed yet? Is this when you find out?
No, in 2008 I got out the hospital. I was taking the medication. And this is where I came up with the phrase, you don't get a bad day if you're breathing. I was in the mirror in my house and I was going to end it. And it was just medication. I wasn't feeling. I was like, I'm not taking that medication. And I was like, I ended up, I don't know what I'd done. I can't remember. I just remember being, I don't know if I took the medication first or I stopped taking the medication. I remember holding it, just looking in the mirror like, you're going to live. You're either going to do this, finish this now, or you don't get a bad day if you're breathing. And
you
then
were holding a knife to your throat?
Aye, and I was going to end it. And I just decided there I was going to wake up every day and I'd listen to Akon Sunny Day, and I'd just walk along the canal at Mary Hill. So I was in the high flats of the Wynford. I got out there and that was my house. I moved 2000. I got back from Greece, so Paul went to my dad's and I got a house straight away to help with my mental health.
So how long were you might have said this, how long were you in Stop Hill?
Wasn't it long that time? It was probably about 5 days.
Right, and then you've been...
They took us to Levendale and took all the psychiatrists on the table, and they were seeing if I was a violent risk or a violent to myself. They were trying to see if I was a risk to other people because of my past of prisons, because obviously I got done with all sorts of violence. They were going to see if I was a threat to myself, and Dr. Blair, she let us out. She says, that guy's not a threat, I can tell he's not a threat. And she stood up with all the psychiatrists and says, he's not a threat, he's not going to hurt anybody. She let us out and she showed us compassion. I was like, I love the fact she's let me out. She didn't have to. She could have kept me in.
Did you get let out into a kind of home that was being monitored? Where you?
My dad chose it first, and I got the esteem team at Glasgow. They helped us get a house in the Wynford. Right. And then when I had the house in the Wynford, I was in my house with my own thoughts, and that's when I had the knife at my throat and says, "We end it an hour. You don't get a bad day if you're breathing." And I walk along Akon Sunny Day. I remember it the clear as day. I don't know if you know the lyrics to Akon Sunny Day, but it's
no, I can't even think of it. So when I like his songs too, but I can't.
It's called Sunny Day, but it's like, whoever thought that I'd see this day when I see my ghetto life get away. And then so I would just reaffirm it and watch the sun come up, and I was like, you don't get a bad day if you're breathing, you don't get a bad day if you're breathing, wake up and live. Yep. You could have ended it there. Yep. And then in 2010, so that was 2008 to 2010, I was living with illness myself. I was having parties in the house.
So you were still, at your dad's house?
No, my own house.
Your own house then, right. So 2008, 2010, you're living on your own, and you're living with this? You're
living with illness, but I don't know anything about it. And then
but you still haven't been diagnosed?
No, been diagnosed.
Right, okay.
And then 2 year time, 2010, I got diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, which is schizophrenia and bipolar and the same illness.
Right, so schizoaffective disorder.
Aye.
Right, and it's schizophrenia and bipolar combined. Bipolar 1.
Basically, if you don't get the mania, bipolar 1, mania turns into psychosis, and psychosis turns into schizophrenia. Right. And the more times you have breakdowns and stuff like that, eventually the schizophrenic symptoms will stay on me. But because my bipolar's managed, I don't get psychosis and I don't get schizophrenia symptoms. Because my bipolar's managed, I don't get manically high and I sleep a lot, so I don't go days without sleeping. So my illness is managed.
You get diagnosed. Why did it take so long to get diagnosed?
Because I've got to get the right diagnosis. You can't just, because it's such a severe illness, you've got to get the esteem team, the psychiatrist, the CPN. They've got to have a group of people. And everyone needs to agree. Monitor you, and everybody have to agree. Aye.
Right, okay. So you get diagnosed, and what happens then? Are you on medication?
On medication, I'm not taking it.
You're not taking it?
No, I'm not taking it.
Right, why not?
Because 2010, because I just didn't want to believe the diagnosis. I was like, that's not me, and the medication was making us drowsy. I couldn't get out of bed and stuff like that. I was like that, and I met a new girlfriend at the time. She would come down, still pals with her to this day. She actually just says good luck in the podcast and stuff like that. She was still pals to this day, stood by us all that time.
That's good.
And she's like that. She will always love us. But she would come down, and I couldn't get out of bed. I was like that, and with the medication.
And you said, I'm not taking that medication.
I'm not taking that medication. And then I left her. And I went and done my own thing. I went in Scotland. I got the free bus pass, the disabled bus pass. And I went like, fuck it, I'm going to go in Scotland and travel everywhere, every single day. My mate Frank, he's kind of bonkers as well, but he's just a quiet guy.
I was like bonkers as well.
So I was like, I've got a companion in this bus pass. We doing it. Right. We were around Scotland, drank hundreds of tap water, and had the two meals for a tenner. Went to the Barton Castle and the Isle of Skye, Inverness. We ended up getting lost in the Isle of Skye. We had to get to Inverness, and we're using the free bus pass. And we had about 25 quid left each or something like that. We didn't have much money, and we ended up getting a a hotel and a hostel, a hotel kind of thing in Inverness. So we're in a Chinese guy's cupboard. We had to flip to see who's getting the cupboard. There was only one room left and one good cupboard. You had to be in it. And he won the heads, and so he's in the room, and I'm lying in this cupboard for 25 quid a night. My feet up. He's laughing at food. He's like, you could hear him laughing. I could hear him laughing in the room. He's got a shower in his room. I was sitting in a Chinese guy's cupboard for 25 quid. But we had just tons of good. We just had tons of cracking times.
Right,
we were in the full of Scotland. And then 2012, January 2012, I decided I was going to shave all my hair off. I was just that kind of way. I was after medication. I asked the psychiatrist,
hold on. Let's not go too far forward. So 2010, you're not taking the medication?
No.
Right. So what happens then? Does that not lead to more episodes? Does that not lead to you?
Leads to mania.
Right.
I didn't know this at the time, but at the time it leads to mania. But I wasn't taking the medication, but I was doing a lot of meditation, and I thought that there wasn't an illness there and I could meditate my way through it.
Right, okay.
And I started getting into Buddhist sort of stuff. And
so this is still 2010?
This is 2010, aye.
Right, okay.
That's when I got in Scotland and travelling.
Yep.
That's 20.
All the while not taking the medication?
No, taking the medication, no.
Right, okay.
I wasn't taking the medication. 2010, I wasn't taking medication. 2011, I wasn't taking the medication.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take the medication at all. I just used the bus pass just to collect my meds, throw them in the bin, get the bus, go with my mate, have a good time, and then...
I take it you had to collect the meds so that they thought you were taking them?
Aye, and I was convincing the psychiatrist not I was taking them. I was very convincing that I was taking the medication. And then 2012, I convinced them that if they could give me the medication for 4 weeks, I was going to stay in the house for 4 weeks to learn meditation, because I was dead into Buddhism at the time. And I shaved all my hair off and locked myself in the house. And I was making YouTube videos at the time.
Right.
Of myself on YouTube. And it took like 4 hours to upload the video to Facebook. So it's like, that's how long ago it was. And I locked myself in the house for 30 days.
What made you get into Buddhism?
There's a film called The Seven Psychopaths. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I've not seen it. No.
It's Seven Psychopaths. Basically, it's a guy writing about psychopaths, and he becomes a psychopath himself.
Right.
And he tries to get a monk at the end. So I'm sitting with my mate in the pictures watching this film. And at the end, it shows you the psychopath's going to be a monk.
Right.
And they don't know how to explain the movie. And it gets to the end, he goes like, I think I know a story. The monk's going to go and do America in, because the Vietnamese monks are going through a bad time in America. So the monk's with a prostitute, and he's going to blow America up. And it shows you the monk going with the prostitute, walking in with gasoline with the prostitute with him, pours the gasoline everywhere. And he goes like, that's not the way it ends. And he changes the dialect to the story. He says, what he does is he fights the battle in here. And he goes within his robes. And you see him in self-annihilation or something, self-annihilation, when they sit and meditate. And they pour gasoline on themselves. And they put the fire in themselves. And they...
It's like the film there, Seven Psychopaths.
That's sort of there, aye. It's the Buddhist part of it.
Right, okay.
And it shows you he took the battle in here rather than out there. Rather than battling America, he battled himself. And he says to him at the end, he goes like, do you think this will work? And he says it might. And he puts himself on fire. So it's a kind of suicidal story, but it kind of got me like, I like that kind of monk thinking, how did you get in here? And so I shaved my hair off and stayed in this for 30 days.
So you watch this film and it inspires you that much to become
monk-like. I've always envied monks. I don't envy people with fast cars and buy high houses. I envy people that can sit at peace because I can.
Right, okay, right.
So I shaved my hair off and I stayed in the house for 30 days and I documented it on YouTube. I was watching.
No intention of pouring gasoline on yourself.
No chance of that. No, not that much. And then I looked at a Buddhist monk called Ajahn Brahm. That was my first Buddhist teacher. He does online tutorials on a Friday, Buddhist Monk Society of Western Australia. He was an English guy that shaved all his hair off and went to be a monk. And I was astonished with just his attitude and his wee stories, and it kind of helped me. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to tell stories that make people, enlighten people, and then I kind of got that way. So then I got out the house after 30 days, and I met my kid's mum, and before I knew it, I was in bed with my dad. So I was in bed with my kid's mum, and then I became a dad.
Right. So we're at 2012,
and
you meet a girl, and you've got your own place.
I've got my own place,
and you're now living a life as a monk. Would you say monk-like?
Monk-like, but it's like I was trying to no dating. I wasn't about to go with a woman, not, but I met her and I went
and fuck the monk life.
Aye, basically. Aye.
Okay, so we're trying the monk life, and then you meet a girl, you go, all right, okay, I can't follow all of the aspects of it.
And then she's like, I'm pregnant, and I'm like, you're pregnant, but I don't love you,
right? And
I'm going to be a dad. And she's carrying my child.
So were you in a relationship with her before she became pregnant?
5 weeks or something.
Right, okay. So in a sense, no,
not really a relationship. It was like,
then she's pregnant.
I'm like, I've got to stand by, I've got to do the man thing and stand by her, but I don't love her. And I still sorry to this day that I don't love her. I wish I could. I wish I did.
Yep.
And I didn't love her, and I had to tell her before my daughter was born, and she sent us a message saying she doesn't want my daughter being around the illness or exposed to it. And a text message, it kind of broke us in two, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? How can I get help? I didn't think I was going to see my daughter, and I was sitting with my cousin John.
And what was she seeing though that was worrying to her?
She was watching my YouTube videos. She met us through YouTube, so she met us through my YouTube monk videos. She was
Right, okay.
she liked the Buddhism, and she liked my stories.
Right, okay.
And she gave us a book called Immortal Words or something. Inside it says 2 volume. Hopefully your wise words make it a book like this one day. Love her name.
Right, okay. So still not in medication though?
No medication.
Still not
I
taking
did take medication.
Right,
I
okay.
did take medication from 2008 to 2016 when I got sectioned again.
Right, okay. So when at 2012, you find out you're going to be a dad, and then this woman says to you she doesn't want you to be around
My
your daughter.
My daughter, she doesn't want my daughter exposed to the illness, because it wasn't about anything I done. It wasn't like I acted erratic or I done anything wrong. It was just the fact that she used my mental health against us.
Right, okay.
She used the label schizoaffective disorder and says that's not a safe label to be around, to be a dad. And
Was there any professionals still like in touch with you? Did you have people?
CPN psychiatrist.
You had CPN psychiatrist that was still like actively in your life, and did they ever say like what happens? Did you tell them like I've got a woman that's pregnant?
Aye.
So what happened there? What did they say?
They were congratulating us first.
Right, okay.
They were full supportive that I can be a dad.
They never had any concerns.
No, they didn't have any concerns, because my past is a concern. But I had a talk with my CPN just last week, and she says, see if you just looked at me in black and white paper, I look like a really violent, unpredictable man, and with that label schizoaffective disorder. So if I didn't use my voice on YouTube and I didn't use my voice on Facebook and that back then, I wouldn't have ever got to see my daughter.
So what happens next then? Obviously your daughter's born.
I was at the pub with my cousin, and my daughter's mum's mum, her granny, phoned me and says she's getting into labour at Wishaw General. I got my mum's pal to drive us up. I don't drive. I'm not allowed to drive because I'm nuts. but I got somebody to drive us to Wishaw. My daughter came into the world and I was sitting in tears. My daughter's there, and there's a photo of her, and I'm just holding her. I'll do everything I can in this world to be in your life and love you and support you, and I'll be your dad.
Yep.
It was the best day of my life.
And what happened then? Like, what happened with your daughter being born? If you've got your daughter's mum saying she doesn't want you in her life.
She stayed in Hamilton at the time. She had a house in Hamilton. I was in Maryhill. I travelled through, and I went to my daughter's mum's door, and she wasn't going to put us the birth certificate. We had a discussion. I left the house and says, you're better after just burning all the clothes on that I bought and stuff like that. I went to Maryhill, and then I ended up with 4 riot vans at the door.
Right, hold on. So you say the discussion, an argument, and she's maintaining she doesn't want you around?
Our mum was in the house as well, so our granny was there, mum was there, and my daughter was there. And I went to her house.
To see your daughter?
To see my daughter.
And what age is she at this point? Days old?
2 days old.
2 days old, right.
And then I've left the house, and as I've left the house, I went straight into the house. I said, I just want to see my daughter. I picked my daughter up.
Yep.
And I just want to see her, and I put her down. And then I was like, I just want to see my daughter. And then she's like, well, you get my house. So I left the house straight away.
Aye, so she wasn't welcoming.
Wasn't welcoming.
Aye. So you want to see your daughter, and she wasn't for having it.
She wasn't for having it. And,
right,
I left the house, went to Maryhill, and ended up with 4 riot vans at the door, taking me to Hamilton Sheriff Court.
And I take it she'd phoned the police on you?
Her and my mum phoned the police.
4 riot vans, I was assuming because of your previous?
Previous, aye.
Yep. And then you get taken to the court.
Hamilton Sheriff.
And we charged?
No.
So what were you arrested on?
I was arrested in domestic violence.
Right,
The domestic alarm, I think it was called.
Right.
It was the
So
domestic
basically
violence.
she's phoned saying
She
that
says there's an alarm because there's a chance he could have been unpredictable and turned up to the house again. So I had to they just wanted to say that don't you come back to our house. That's our house. That you can't just walk in somebody's house.
I'm guessing you were released under bail? No?
No, no bail. I got straight out for court. So I went. The police told us in the police cell, they were like, "We'll just keep you in. You've got to go to court. You'll get out of court." And I'm sitting in tears. And the police like, "So you don't have to greet me. It's all right. You're getting out." And then I went into court, and then people that were in the.
You're obviously upset. It's because of your daughter. It's nothing to do with the court.
I was all over the place. And I went for the best time in my life. To 2 days later, being back in. Locked up, the place I don't want to be, because I'm all for freedom. I'm all for people being themselves. I don't want to lock anybody up. I don't want anybody to lock me up. All I want is a free, happy life.
Yep.
And I was back in that situation. I was greeting in the court, and I was in the bail bit, and people were like, what are you greeting for? You're getting out. You're not getting jail. I'm like, I'm not getting to see my daughter. It was a mental prison. It wasn't a physical prison. Physical prison's easy. The mental prison's the hard part. And I got out. I remember making a Facebook post, and I wrote what happened, and I wrote it on Facebook. My spelling was all over the place. I wasn't a good speller at the time. I wasn't a good writer. and I got told I was to see my daughter. My sister got us to a lawyer in Maryhill Road, just at, I don't think it's called Ramsey & Co or something. There's one in Maryhill, I don't know the name yet, but it's right next to, just as the Ruckhill Bridge, there's on the corner, there's a lawyer's there. My sister came in with us, and the lawyer's like, listen, you're not getting your daughter. Do you think any court in the land's going to give somebody with your past a wee baby girl? And I couldn't understand the lawyers. My sister, like, I can't believe you never hurt him. And I was like, he's a professional, I've got to accept that's the way the professional is. So I went to Loch Lomond, and I had my...
Just because he's a professional, that doesn't mean he's right.
It doesn't. Because of the illness, but because of the past. He was being honest with us. He's been honest with what he's seen in his profession.
I take it he was saying it's a battle you're unlikely to win.
Aye, yeah. You're fighting a losing battle. That's when people ask me, how did you get the strength? I was like, my back was up against the wall. I didn't have any other option. My only option was to be myself and be ruthless with myself and say, listen, I'm not that guy on paper.
Yep.
I'll be me, and I'll show you exactly who I am.
Yep.
And I went to Loch Lomond.
So you found out, sorry, before you go on, so you found out that this woman isn't for having you in your daughter's life. You then get arrested, and then on the back of that come out and your sister arrange an appointment with a lawyer to see if you can go down the legal route, and then the lawyer's blatantly blatantly honest with you, and says it's not going to happen. Right, okay, and this is still, your daughter's still days old?
And I'm in tears for days. I'm still in tears, leaving that lawyer's. She's only 4 days old then.
Right, okay.
Maybe 5 days old.
Right.
And I went to the house, and I used my pass again, went to Loch Lomond with my phone, and I looked at Loch Lomond, and I looked at the vision of Loch Lomond, and I had my phone, and I put the phone down to take a video to see people, there's freedom out there. And I didn't know what to see on the camera. And I uploaded the video. It was just me with a Scotland tap with a pair of joggies on, saying I'm going to find something in between that to say to somebody, go out there. And then I started to turn the camera around, and I started running. I started walking and running. And then my mate was running a half marathon for Anderson, and says to us, he was doing the Blackpool half marathon. I says, listen, I'll do the full marathon, 26.2 mile. I turned up with 22 stone with walking shoes and a tracksuit on, didn't know the distance. I was like, I'll do the full one, I don't care. And I walked, ran, done it in 4 hours 53, bleeding nipples and all that, and it was a sense of achievement.
What nipples?
Bleeding nipples, bleeding under there. It was just blood everywhere, and it was like, because I'd been so fat, I was 22 stone, and I'd no exercise. I ran a couple of times, like 1Ks and stuff. I didn't do big distance, 26.2 miles.
So you never practiced for this marathon?
No, I just turned up. I was still kind of drunk.
Right, okay. Are we still in 2012, by the way?
No, it's 2013. My daughter was born the 30th of January 2013. The marathon was in April. So I started, if take it back to 5 days, I went to Loch Lomond. I wasn't seeing my daughter, so I had to find something to do with my time. And I started writing blogs of what I was going to do. And then eventually in April, I ran the marathon. It wasn't for any charity or anything like that. It was just because my mate was doing, he was doing a half marathon. I was around different kind of mates. I wasn't with the prison mates, I was fitness mates this time.
Yeah.
So I finished at 26.2 mile, and I says, I'm going to do the marathon under 3 hours. And then I'd done a year of running. So for the 2 years, my first 2 years of my daughter's life, I got access to my daughter as long as her mum was there.
Right.
But she wouldn't tell the courts that. So I'd go swimming with my daughter at Hamilton Water Palace. I'd meet her at Starbucks in Barrs Road, but she wouldn't tell the lawyers I was getting access to my daughter. I've got all these photographs.
Right, so this woman comes round, right? So your daughter's mum comes round and says, you can see her?
Aye.
Only if I'm there?
Aye.
And how old was she at this point?
When the marathon was April, so January, February, March, 4 months.
Right, okay, so something happened, in this woman's mind where she thought, my daughter needs to see her dad.
Aye.
But she wanted to be there.
She wanted to be there all the time. She didn't want to leave me alone with my daughter.
Right, okay.
She wanted to be there all the time. And she thought that because of my label of mental health, that's what was used against me. But I started to kind of see her on and off, and I knew that if I seen her, she would like to see my daughter. So sometimes I stayed there with her. But she wouldn't tell the lawyers of this.
Right. So you started getting back, not in a relationship, would you say? But was it a relationship?
We were sleeping in the same bed, and basically I was just being there so I could see my daughter.
Right, okay, got you.
And
do you think she was hoping that you'd fall in love with her?
Aye. And I didn't. And every time I left, I wasn't allowed to see my daughter, and it was I got a lawyer in Springburn, and she decided to take my case on, and we got to the contact centre. So she would drop it off at the contact centre Saturday. So I'd see my daughter Monday and Tuesday, say, And then I'd see my daughter in the contact centre, and the contact centre's like, your daughter might not take tea here.
You've not seen her in
You've not seen her.
weeks or
My daughter's
months,
like,
but
Daddy!
you seen her a few days before.
She would tell it. She just blatantly never told the law that I seen my daughter, but I had all these photos here.
But why? Why do you think she wasn't telling them?
I don't know.
Interesting,
Every single person has their views on it. I never want to put the blame on my kids' mums. I've got 2 kids to do different mothers. I never want to blame the mothers because they're good mothers. They're good people to themselves. They're just bad partners with me. I was the one that left them, and when I left them, I become the bad one. And when I was with her, she wouldn't tell the law. And then in 2 years, so I ran the marathon April, and a year later I ran it in 2:55. But in between I ran 2004, that's 2013, 2014 I ran 2014 miles in 2014 for York Hill Children's Charity. I started writing for magazines. I done a psychology course, a care course, a counselling course. Started writing for magazine groups and photograph groups with mental health. I started to become a role model to people with mental health and a mental health advocate. I started getting talks to psychiatrists and doctors on recovery when I wasn't on medication at the time. And I started to run marathons. And
you're still not on your medication at this point, is that right?
No.
Right, okay. So
I've lost 7-8 stone.
So you've turned your life round?
Aye. And I done it for my daughter because I seen her and I just promised her I'd do everything to get in her life. And I didn't care how many people I had to inspire, how many mountains I had to run. I'd run until my legs fell off because I made sure I was going to be in her life. And the moments I had with her, I've got the videos, I've got the evidence, I've got the photos. In 2 years' time, I finally got to court, and the judge had one look at it, looked at her, looked at me, and says, I'm going to grant him access. And she walked out like that, gutted. He went like, I'm going to give you...
Your daughter's mum was gutted?
She was gutted. She was as if I'd just done something wrong. And he went like, I'm going to give you 2 weeks, every second weekend and a week in the summer, when my daughter was 2. So I stayed in Maryhill Canal at the time. I got a new house in 2014. I got a new house because they seen my public work. And they moved me for the high flats because they knew I had my daughter, and they moved us to the new houses on the canal at Maryhill, at the valley. They gave us every second weekend, the week in summer, so my daughter stayed over with us. We had the best time of our life, and it was brilliant, man. Down the West End, I ended up getting a dog called Lucky and had a cracking time. It was just the best times of my life, and I've got all the videos and all the photos.
So just to go back, so your daughter, when you go to court and you get granted access, what age was your daughter at this point? 2? 2. Right. So see, in those 2 years though, were you seeing her consistently and the lawyers
contact centre every Saturday?
Right.
But I would also be taking her to swimming. And I just shared a wee video on TikTok with her face when she's like sitting, surprise. That's times that I wasn't supposed to see her. The judge had one look at me like, how's he got all these photos and evidence? And he's getting to see his daughter. There's no way he's not getting his daughter. He's in her life. And then he gave us access. I walked out, I caught that. I've got my daughter. I've got my time with her, and it's like, it was just the best times of my life.
But then once you get access, are you still staying over with the
mum? No, I immediately says I'll take the access and that's it. And then in 2015 I got the men's 10k Father's Day run. I done a promo video with it, so there's my face on it. It's if I'm eating a fry up, and then I do this kind of marketing. I went on STV News, talked about men to run for Father's Day to be better dads to their children by setting an example. Rather than blame them, become the best version of yourself and go running, get fit, get healthy, share the example with your kids. And I went to the men's 10k, and Father's Day men's 10k, it's me holding my daughter up. And that's the thing, Father's Day mental health. So the mental health, Father's Day all came together. People invested in the business. People invested in the 10k. So Father's 10k is still on the day, the men's 10k. So it went for STV News to me make the promo video. TV running about Glasgow with the men's 10k t-shirt. My daughter's shouting, I'm going to do my thing, because that's the song on it. It's like, shows you, if you ever see the promo video, that's what it is. And at the end of that, our mum drove down and stood in the podium with us and accepted me as a dad. But I didn't want to be with her. And I didn't get back with her. 2006.
Has she moved on by this point and she has someone else?
I don't know. I didn't even ask her business. I'm not interested. I'm just interested in me being a dad. I don't even care, to be honest.
So she came down to the podium 2015.
Aye. And she stood in the podium. He's got a photo of us. There's a photo of me, my daughter, and her sitting at the podium. She's celebrating my success, even though it's her that put me through it all to get it all. And it's like, you're doing well. You can see your daughter whenever. And then in 2016, I got sectioned. And she would drive my daughter up to the mental hospital. So now the doctors are seeing her going against my mental health. Now they're seeing her drop her off. And even my CPN is like, hold on a minute, I think there's something wrong here. Why is she saying you're mentally mad? And next minute she's got to a mental hospital with mentally mad people and dropping her off. She helped me through that wee bit of illness in 2016.
So tell us about that then. What happened in 2016?
Oh, it's mad. Because I got all the success, I ended up I went to a public speaking event in the Lawn Hotel, and Art Napolitani, one of Donald Trump's pals, says, if you can make it to Barcelona, I'll pay you. And come here, because I heard my story and stuff like that, and I listened to him speaking. I was just inspired by his speaking, and I wanted to do what he done, and he had a suit and all that on. But I didn't have any money, as in money they've got. I'd probably have a bank account for like 120 quid or something. So I bought a Primark shirt, and I had my running watch, and I went away to Barcelona. He's paying for it. We got to this big conference with all these kind of speakers, and I've lost my mind trying to be successful in my mind, like practice affirmations and all that. I'm not taking medication, but I'm going to be successful. These people invite me to Barcelona. I went to Barcelona with Art Napolitani and this big conference, a big ACN unit. That's the name of the business. It's a big unit, and it's like all these. Maybe.
How did you get to Barcelona?
I went on holiday. He helped us there.
Right, so you flew over.
I flew over, aye.
Right.
And
for a conference, like you had a date, and he's like, "Come on this date."
A couple of days. At the conference at the Long Hotel, he says there's another conference in Barcelona in a couple of days.
Right, okay.
If you can make it, I'll pay it. I was like, I can make it. And I've just went there, and obviously I didn't sleep. I was in Barcelona running at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to stay up all night, go to the conference, and then I was running at 4 o'clock, because every day I ran at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I was trying to become this different person, and I ended up losing my mind. I came back from Barcelona, I threw my house keys in the River Clyde, and I started thinking everything was falling as I went to my mum's house, and I've locked myself in my mum's living room. I started writing in the walls all these plans about successful plans and changing the world for the better and all that, and I ended up with
This was as soon as you came back from Barcelona?
As soon as I came back from Barcelona.
See, before he tells that, when you're in Barcelona, what happens at this conference then? Did you speak? Did you watch speakers?
I was just walking around, and I didn't know if I was to speak or not. He says I was to come and meet him, but I was that effing deluded, man. I just walked up and down the stairs and kept walking up down the stairs at a conference with Primark. These guys are all with Rolexes and fucking big suits, and I've not got enough money to buy them a Starbucks. And
did you meet the guy over there?
No, I never even met him.
You never met him?
I never met him. I walked up and down it. So I went to the conference. I met a boy, Sean. He does his own podcast. I think he's can't remember Sean's second name, but he speaks different languages. He does his own podcast. But I met him in Barcelona and says, "Why to come with us? Because I've got a +1 for us. I'll get us in." We're in Barcelona at the conference, and we're like, I'm looking for Art Napolitani. Like, isn't it Art Napolitani? Or they're like, "Oh, Art Napolitano." And the teachers look right, like, "I'm on in and all that." You want some of this? You want some? I keep it all. And it's like I'm trying to like be successful and that sort of stuff. And I didn't even know what I was trying to do, and I just end up losing the plot. I came back to Glasgow with plans that I was going to take this business to Barcelona and get people to. It was ACN, so you get like television media, it's like network marketing sort of stuff.
Right, okay.
And I was like, I'm going to take this business and give everybody everything, and I was just fucking deluded.
Is it safe to say then that the years of not taking the medication caught up?
Aye, 100%.
So you come back from Barcelona, you're in Glasgow, and you have, what is it called? Is it an episode? What is it?
A psychotic episode. So basically you get mania, you're not sleeping. So I went to my mum's house and I wasn't sleeping. I was in my mum's living room with the door locked. And I was writing and I was watching the telly. I think the telly's looking, I'm having a conversation with the telly. It's if people on the telly looking at me. And I'm like, well, then I put a pot in my head, and my mum got in the living room. And I've got a pot in my head with no clothes on, singing Bob Marley, "Don't Worry, Be Happy." And she's like, well, my mum's actually writing a book about my episodes and what it's like for a mum to go through it.
Right, okay.
So it'll be part of her story, which she's seen. And then the psychiatrist came up, trying to get his diazepam and says he would calm down after a couple of hours. Because once the psychiatrist got up, I'm trying to act normal. I'm in bed, kid on, everything's all right. Like, I'm not be doing that. No. What's that in the was? Like, you need more diazepam. The police end up just bringing us down, sections in Stow again in 2016. And then
did you tell them at that point you still weren't taking medication?
They injected
was prescribed to you years ago?
They injected us, and I says they gave us Clopixo and lithium. And I says, if they take us after the medication, I'll take the tablets. I promise to take the tablets. And there's a CT order when you get sectioned, and then you get a CT order, so it means you're forcefully medicated. Right. So there's the option they medicate you, they take you back to hospital so they can inject you against your will. So if you don't want to take the medication, and you're not getting out of hospital unless you take the medication, and if you don't take if you don't turn up for the injection, you're coming back into hospital. So I convinced them to take us after medication again. I would take tablets, and I planned up to. I went for my ultra running weight, because I was running 100-mile ultra marathons at the time. I was training. I done 2 ultra marathons at 100-miler, and I done ultra marathons. So I was dead thin, 6-pack a lot, and they put us in antipsychotics 2016. I ballooned up to 22 stone again, and within 7 months. I convinced them to take us off the medication. The minute they take us off the medication, I'm like, again, manic, running in the mountains and that, and I got back to ultra running and ran the Blackpool Marathon in 2000.
Wait, how did you manage to convince them to take off medication though? Because
once you have a CT order, you become in charge of your own medication. Right. So you can't force it.
Did you say, take us off it, but I'll take it myself? Is that how the agreement?
Basically, the CT order, once there's a mental health officer, social work, that sort of stuff all involved. Once you're well enough to make your own decisions, you're off a CT order, compulsive treatment order.
Right.
You come off that, then the medication's up to you. They can't forcefully medicate you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you to take the tablets. So that's why a lot of people keep reoccurring and go back to hospital because they stop taking the medication.
So when that happened, did you start taking the tablets yourself?
No, I threw them out.
Right, okay.
And I thought everything was all right. I'd just go back running, everything would be healthy. So I lost all the weight again. I turned the camera around in myself, went and lost tons of weight again, and ran the marathon, done what I was doing again. And then in 2020, so that's 2000. So I finished this relationship with my daughter every second weekend.
Yep.
That stopped when I got sectioned, and then it started again in the care of my mother. So if my mother was there, I get to see my daughter if I'm not well enough, but if I'm well enough, ever. So. But me and my daughter had a cracking time. She loved Manic Dad. It was like, everything was just fun. It was like she just seen the fun side. She didn't understand that it's part of Daddy being no well. What we wake up in the morning like, we'll do this, we'll do that. We're going adventures. But in 2020, I moved from Glasgow to East Kilbride. I done a council exchange swap. So I was a councillor in Maryhill. I done a council swap to a one-bedroom house. I wasn't thinking clearly. I just as an opportunity. There was somebody doing a house in East Kilbride. I moved house straight away, gave them a 2-bedroom, the room with my daughter. I moved to a 1-bedroom. I was going to sleep in the living room and my daughter was going to sleep in the other room. I made her room for her.
Right.
And I had my daughter all the time, so her mum stayed across the road, or just around the corner. And then...
Is that why you wanted to move there then?
Aye, to be my daughter's life. So I was in her life, picking her up for school every day, doing all that. And then I had another breakdown, obviously not taking medication. High as a kite.
What year was this?
2020.
2020, right. So you're still not taking medication.
No.
Have another episode. What happens then?
Back on the medication forcefully again, CT order, then I stopped taking it. See my daughter to 2021, I was like that on the couch, and my daughter's seen as being this hero, ultra running, being on the telly, you're this inspirational story to everybody, and my daughter's waiting and all that, and then she's seen her dad on the couch like fat Homer Simpson and eating pizzas and that sort of stuff, and she's looking at us like, you're not that's not my dad, my dad's a runner, my dad's fit and healthy, my dad's this and that. In 2022, I got sectioned again. They took us in because I was making Facebook videos and I had elf slippers on, so like Christmas slippers. I was just sitting in my living room making Facebook videos. It's just going about my day, like just like that. And then the police came through my door on a live. Says you've got to get sectioned, and I thought I was getting followed again. And like as if
So that's an episode 2020, then 2022 again.
22 again.
So same pattern, forcefully medicated, and then coming off it, saying you'll take a medication, still not.
Aye.
Right. Okay.
And I've been taking the medication ever since 2022.
Right. So you are taking it now.
I take the medication. I take the injection because I'll not take the tablets because I'll end up forgetting them or I'll not take them. So I made a promise that I'm going to stay on the aripiprazole injection. So that stops me getting a manic high. I still get bouts of mania, but it doesn't last as long because I get asleep because the medication stops the illness getting worse. So now I've looked at it myself. I patterned myself. I went on the 16personalities.com, checked my Myers-Briggs. I didn't understand myself for Jordan Peterson, the Ocean personality test. And I started studying all my past behaviour and studying the illness and then acceptance. And I apologised to my past self. Everything I've ever done in the past, I apologised to me. I put success and fame and everything else before everybody else. And I lost myself in the process. But at the same time, I had to do it to get my daughter. And then that takes me to 2022, 2023. I put the weight on, but I was just accepting the weight. And when everybody knows you're a runner, like you put the weight on, you're not running anymore. That's the conversation everybody gives me. You're not running anymore. I look like I'm running. It's like it's because I put that image out.
So you've been taking medication since 2022.
Aye.
And do you feel like you're a changed man since then?
100%.
So the medication works.
The medication works.
Yeah.
There's no denying it.
Yeah.
It works. It doesn't work. It doesn't cure the illness. It prevents the illness. It prevents the illness getting worse.
Right.
I need the medication.
So that's a good solid 12 years though of
Off the medication.
not taking it when you should have.
Aye.
Brutal question. Why did you not take it, especially when you had a daughter?
Because I thought I was well enough.
Just thought you didn't need it.
I thought love mattered more than anything else, but there was no logic. I should have took the medication. I wish I did take the medication. And if I took the medication, I probably wouldn't have got sectioned and wouldn't have got the times to use against me in my mental health.
Yep.
And I wouldn't have lost my sanity. I would have been more sane.
That was 3 occasions, wasn't it? 2016, 2020, 2022.
Aye.
3 different episodes that could have been avoided.
It could have been avoided with medication. But I didn't know any different.
Yep.
And I apologised to my former self. I was putting like being fit and healthy in this ultra runner, like this kind of model. I was pretending the world's something I'm not. Well, I was that person. But if I was honest with myself, I wish I was back to the psychopathic monk and just took it in here again and just meditated, man. And just took the medication and meditated, done the two of them rather than thinking that you could be this hippie. I went vegan and that as well. That's why I lost all the weight. Hippie vegan, and I was meditating and vegan diet, fruit and vegetables and tap water, nothing else. That's what I was back in 2014. I went vegan. So I used to think that worked, but no.
How long did that last?
7 years.
Did it?
No, so 7 years. Vegan 2014, 15, 16. 3 years. 3 years. Sorry.
Right, okay.
I was running for on and off for 7 years.
Aye. So 2022 comes round, you start taking medication, realise that it works, you know,
Aye,
and you see now that you should have taken it.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in East Kilbride?
Yeah. Right, okay.
What-
So then, what happens then?
My communication with my daughter's mum broke down because I stopped giving her money. I gave her money, extra money on top of the CSA. So once I stopped giving her money, she needed a car. I gave her money. I gave her 4 figures for a car, and she said she would pay it back. So I gave her the money for the car. She needed the car because the other one broke down. I gave her the 4 figures, and I didn't have money. So I'm on toasted beans, living in a flat on benefits, and like I'm giving her 4 figures and all the money I had really to get a car. And then she said she was going to pay it back, and he was like, "You'll get fucking nothing." And then I was like, "You're not getting any more money off me then again." And then that was the relationship broke down. I've not seen my daughter in 2 years.
So this was 2023?
2023, aye.
Yeah. So, and it was just basically an argument between you
Well, it
and...
wasn't even an argument, I just asked for my money back. I says pays back in instalments, and she says you're getting fucking nothing.
Right.
And I've not spoken to her since. I've not texted her. I just left it at that.
And your daughter was, what, 10, 11 at this point?
Aye. She's 10. She's 10, she's 12 now.
Right, okay. So she was 10 and you've not seen her since then. Why? Why has this happened? Why?
We went back to court because she wasn't getting us access, and I went back to court to get the court order put back in, so I get every second weekend and a week in the summer. And it's a psychiatrist, a court order guy that comes out and interviews the child and asks if you want to see dad.
Child welfare reporter.
That's it. Aye. My daughter says she didn't want to see us for some reason, and I've been ill at the time. And I text my daughter, she ran away facing the shopping centre, and I text her, "Don't you do that to your dad." I'm texting an angry text to her, and obviously that was the last text I ever sent her, and I wish I never sent it.
Was that used against you?
That was used against us, a text message. I'm getting into trouble in text message, and they're reading it, but he's off his nut, he's lost it, and he's not getting to see his daughter sending a text like that. But she ran away facing the shopping centre, like when she's been with her family, and they want to see us, and I was just hurt, and I was about to get into trouble like a dad, like, fucking, what you doing? It's like, what you doing? You don't run away for dad. I'm your dad, and I love you more than anybody else on the planet. But you
why do you think she ran away though? Was there more to that incident when she ran away?
Our cousin was there,
Right.
Our boy cousin, and like she was probably showing off her. Because obviously, when I got sectioned in 2020 and 2022 in East Kilbride, it was quite public. The East Kilbride community knew I was getting sectioned. I was on Facebook.
Right, okay.
And obviously my story, I've wrote books and stuff like that, so people are buying my books, following my story and my journey. I'd lost the plot online, so other people have got it real, like your dad's mad, or your dad's this and that, and she's been embarrassed, and she's been around her cousin, she's ran away for, so I've texted like that, but you did run away for dad.
When she ran away that day though, did you find her at the shopping centre? Did she run away home?
No, she was
what did she do?
our mum and our granny were there. They were ahead of them. I was like, "Hi," says my daughter's name, and waved to her, and she ran away as if she didn't want to know us.
Right, and that was the last time you seen her?
Broke my heart in two. It was like the most special person on this planet. Everything I'd done everything for. I've lost my sanity a couple of times. I've became this person for you. I moved to East Kilbride for you. I don't know anybody in this area, and I just want to be with you. I love you, and for some reason she said, "I want to be with you." She was kind of embarrassed with her dad, probably because of the public stuff and public having a breakdown.
That's heartbreaking to hear. So it is, and the fact that when, you know, say 10 years, you did have her when you weren't on the medication, you were having episodes, but you still had access to your daughter, and she deserves to have her dad in her life. But now that you are on medication and you have turned your life around and you're in a better place, yet now you aren't seeing her.
I'm not allowed to see her because she says at the welfare thing, she says she didn't want to see me. See the minute she says she didn't want to see us, I phone my lawyer and says I'm not coming to court. My daughter spoke. If that's my daughter's words, which I don't believe because it's not her words, my daughter doesn't talk like that. She doesn't talk like a person that doesn't like me that way. And
oh, yeah, so you believe she's been coerced into saying that?
I believe so. Yeah, she watches my TikTok videos. I know that she watches me online. Who's going to watch somebody they don't love?
So now, it's tragic as it is, she could be stuck in that house and unable to talk to her mum about how much she misses you.
I know.
Because it would upset her mum. You know? We know those kids in that situation.
Aye.
She'll have no one she can turn to.
I know.
Maybe she watched your TikTok video, she might reach out to you.
I
though,
might,
one
maybe
day.
the door to my house and the door to my heart will always be open to my daughter. I don't care what she does. She could slap me in the face and battle me and I still love her. She could turn into whatever she wants to be, whether successful or failure. I'm going to love her. The door to my house and my heart is always open to her. My dad gets to see her every second Friday, but the communication broke down with me and my dad
So wait, how did that happen? How's your dad get to see her every second Friday?
because he gives money.
So your dad gives your ex, or your daughter's mum money,
Aye.
and he's allowed to see her every second Friday for how long?
Every second Friday. I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs. It's for a few hours.
Right.
I'm just going in second-hand information because I'm not in communication with my dad.
Uh-huh.
But my dad gets to pick her up every Friday after school or every second Friday, and he takes her to buy her stuff, and he obviously helps out with money. That's basically what it is, because I stopped giving her mum money, and that's when the communication broke down. And obviously my dad stepped in, like when I was in hospital, saying, I'll buy you toys and I'll buy you this, and it's became, my dad's turned into this person that could just buy you stuff, and it's like, I'm like, hold on a minute, why don't you bring my daughter to my house and chat my door and say, there's your dad? And I can't get it in my head. Me and my mum can't understand. Nobody can understand it, knows us.
How did the relationship break down with you and your dad?
We had a fight. Well, me and my dad had a breakdown. Celtic were playing Arsenal in London, and my dad was with a woman, and I was on the phone to my mum, and they called my mum a bad name, and I headbutted him. Says, don't you ever talk to my ma like that. My ma heard him, and my sister heard in the background, and I hurt my dad's nose. I cut his nose. He says, I've never apologised to him, and I never will. He deserved it.
When did this happen?
In London back in 2000 this is before my daughter was born. This is come back before my daughter was born.
So you haven't spoken to him in that long?
No, that's when we had our first.
Right, okay,
so my dad was my hero all my life. I wanted to be like him, and I learned what he talked to my ma like that, and you don't talk to people like that. The way he was acting, he was hitting me, slapping me, and all that sort of stuff. And I headbutted him, and we fell out. Then we brought our relationship back up, but it was always different relationship. And he see me running because I denounced Celtic, and I've been a Celtic fan all my life. I publicly denounced Celtic, everything he stood for, drink, drugs, alcohol, Celtic, everything he stood for I went against. And when I went running, my dad came back in my life, but he was always against my running. He was left to say, William, maybe relax a bit, have a beer, son, and he was taking us for pub lunches and stuff like that. He couldn't understand I'd changed, I didn't want to be like him, but so our relationship was kind of rocky. And then when I got sectioned, my dad would come up and be the dad because he loves us. My dad will always love us. I believe that in my heart. My dad will always love us, and I'll always love him, but the relationship isn't good. When I get sectioned, he's always there, and he's always wanted to be there as a dad. But now the relationship's so toxic that I have to put him out of my life because he puts me down, and I have to mirror him. Now I'm back supporting Celtic and stuff like that. I know it wasn't Celtic's fault, and that's part of my dad's heritage that my dad gave me. He gave me good things growing up, he gave me good times, but we had that fallout when he talked to my ma like that, and the relationship with my dad's broke down. I'll always love him. He gave me the best memories of my life with Celtic. I'll always love my dad. He's my dad. But I'll never let him back in my life. The fact he's got my daughter every Friday and no bringing it to me, that's when it finished.
So when was the last time you saw him?
2022. My daughter was coming to the mental hospital to see us, and my dad says, you're not taking your daughter in to see them. You're not taking your daughter in with all them. And that's when I fell out with him.
Right.
He says he wasn't when he used the mental health thing against, like my daughter was allowed in the mental hospital East Kilbride to come in and see us in a room. As soon as you came in the door of the room on the left, they were putting a thing so I could see my daughter, because that's all. I was locked in Wishaw, high security and stuff. East Kilbride in 2020 and 2022 I was in Wishaw high security. But when you get better, you go to East Kilbride. They were allowing me to see my own daughter, like to bring, children should be allowed to come in an open ward. And they were allowed her in, and my dad said she wasn't getting, and he started to take the father role with my own daughter,
right,
and started to say he's taking her for toys, he's taking her, you can't buy her stuff. I couldn't say you can't buy her stuff. He was taking the father role with my daughter, and then he was seeing her every Friday. I just decided that I wasn't going to talk to him again, and
that was it.
That was it.
So I take it your daughter grew up though with her granddad
in
her life.
Aye, I'm happy she's had her grand in her life to have some guidance.
What about your mum?
My mum was in her life for 8 years, every second Friday in a week in the summer. My mum's been the best nana possible, like making cakes and taking her swimming. And my mum doesn't have much money. She's not got money like my dad. And my mum would just do things with her and just have me, my daughter and my mum just done everything together the weekends, and it was brilliant. It was the best times of my life. But my mum also got put out of my daughter's life because my mum backs me up with the mental health. My daughter says Nana's crazy and all.
So that happened as well then, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, she says, man, on the welfare report, Nana's crazy as well.
And I take it your daughter says she doesn't want to see her Nana either.
I don't think she did.
No.
Nah. My mum's done nothing to her. My mum loves her. My mum loves her to pieces.
You said you've got a sister.
I've got a sister as well.
So she's got an auntie as well.
She's got an auntie as well.
And has she seen her?
The last time my sister saw was a couple of weeks ago. So my sister...
Was that just in passing, or was that an arranged meet? Like,
no, it's just in the passing, because I think my dad was using her car or something. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't even listen. I kind of just try to tune it out. Like, I'll see my daughter when I see her, and I know she's watching us on TikTok. I know she's watched my story. I've wrote the book Smile Every Mile for her. The first paragraph is, to the door to my house, the door to my heart will always be open to you, Virgin. And my whole life story has been about my daughter and my life. And I shared it on TikTok about my journey. And I met this woman.
What's the book called?
Smile Every Mile.
Smile Every Mile.
And I made another one called Keep Fucking Breathing. I went back to Greece and I wrote 99 quotes on living the good life. I went back to Greece and myself in a solo trip and wrote Keep Fucking Breathing, another book.
Right.
And I wrote the book starting off in a mental ward and then visiting the place as a different person, and wrote all the quotes and life stories and put that together. So it's the Smile Every Mile book up there.
That's it there on Amazon.
And there's some reviews and stuff like that. I had the Smile Every Mile book. The first one I put out was a real published one. And I took it off the shelves in 2019 because I wanted to throw away social media. So I threw away all my YouTube followers and everything. I kind of just shut down social media.
Right.
Took my book off the shelves. So the Amazon copy is the same book, but that's the Amazon copy. The same book you can't buy anymore. So if people have got a copy of that book, people are selling it on eBay for double the price than that, the real one now, because my book's kind of blew up again on TikTok. I'm the 8th bestseller in philosophy memoirs of philosophers.
So where can you get the book now?
Amazon.
You can get it on
You can
Amazon.
get it on Amazon. Aye. So I wrote the book. Where was I going with that story? I wrote the book.
You went to Greece.
Went back to Greece, wrote Keep Fucking Breathing. That's the first one. That's the first book to Meditations and Ultramarathons.
Right.
That's the first book, but it's the same book. The one on Amazon's the same book. And the other one's called Keep Fucking Breathing. If you click on the offer page and go to my name, William Robertson, there's other books. I wrote one when I was manic called Madness to Mastery. I wrote it in 24 hours and put it out, and I was fucking nuts. So I don't recommend anybody buy that one. I can't even take it off Amazon.
How long are we talking? How long was that one that you wrote?
I wrote the Madness to Mastery one. I wrote in 24 hours.
And how long was it? Many pages?
About 70 odd pages or something.
No, I want to read it. I really want to read it.
It tells you not to hang about with your neighbours, not tell anybody your business. Not I'm telling the world everything. It's the mad one.
That's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So we are now present day,
Present day.
2025.
We'll take it back to 2024 because I remember my dad to a newborn.
Yep. Yeah.
2024, when I accept that I didn't accept the quote at the time. I was kind of going through the quote, shared it on TikTok, my story, the Smile Every Mile book. That I got an inbox off a woman, and then obviously I was on the lives with Jay saying I'm going to try and do things with him in mental health and stuff. I got an inbox off a woman, answered the inbox, and before I knew it, I was a dad again.
Right, okay, so this was 2024, just last year.
Aye.
And
she promised that she was going to help me with it.
So you meet this woman in person?
Aye, she came to my house.
Through social media?
Aye.
Right. And do you get in a relationship with her?
Aye.
And how long are you with her?
Well, that's a year on.
Right,
I was there the first 5 weeks. She came again, it was only 5 weeks or something before she was pregnant.
Right.
And she was listening to my case. She helped us with the lawyers.
You ever heard of contraception, by the way?
Nah, that's my fault. I take full responsibility. I did want a kid.
Right,
I did want another kid. My son was planned. But it was planned because she helped me through my case with my daughter. She also helped me accept that I wasn't getting my daughter. My daughter didn't want to see us. And she also accepted to never put me through what my ex put me through. Right, okay. So she'd be like, I promise you, once my son's born, I'll not say my son's name, but once my son's born, I'll get to see him and all that. So I just followed the full pregnancy. Like, we'll do this, we'll do that. Even if we follow it, things are going to go well.
So when she, through the pregnancy, were you a couple?
Aye.
Okay.
I was there the full time, and then my son was born. She made me smile because the first thing she done was when my son was born, she phoned to get one of the birth certificates. She said, my name's going straight on it. He's going to be a Robertson. My daughter's not a Robertson. Right. My daughter's got a different second name. So that was the first thing she done. I believed her.
Going back to that, actually, did you end up on your daughter's birth certificate?
Nah, I'm still not on it.
But you're a dad,
I know, I'm her dad.
Fucking ridiculous.
No,
So regardless of what a mum thinks, you're her dad.
Legally her dad, but I wasn't putting the birth certificate. She didn't get my second name, and I wasn't to be in her life. But obviously I got in her life, had the track times, but she's not got my second name, but she'll always be my second name to me. Yeah. She's my blood, and that's what I believe.
Right, okay, so your son's born.
And straight on to the birth certificate, we booked a holiday to Benidorm. We had all these plans, even if we fell out, we had the plans. And then in Benidorm we were there for 7 days. in my mind, it was a cracking holiday. In my ma's mind.
So that was this year, that's
this,
not
this
long
year,
ago.
just in the 26th of July
Right, okay.
to the 2nd of August.
Right.
And my mum was so basically she'd booked the holiday, and I decided that I would come here with my mum and my son. So she didn't have to cancel the holiday because she booked the holiday before she even met me. She booked the holiday 13, 14 months ago.
Right, okay.
And she met me, she had this holiday in bed. I was like, well, I cancel it. I was like, don't cancel it. Me and my mum came over with my son. So me, my mum and my son booked. We had to share the room. Me and my mum, she had the room, another room with my son in it. And we had a cracking time. In my mind, I had a cracking holiday.
She booked it before she got with you. She booked it with a friend. She booked it with someone else.
She booked it with other people, but I don't want to talk about other people in it. She just like say that she's booked a holiday.
Right.
I don't want to tell too much of her personal business. She booked it with other people, and we went together. But we had a cracking time. It was just me, my mum, my son, her, and the people she was with, and we had a cracking time. There was nothing wrong. I took her out. Well, I had my son all day because they went to the theme parks. I was just wanting to be a dad.
Yeah,
I was getting my son all day, and people come up to us like, "What a dad you are!" You sat with him all day. I had the same matching kits, the Celtic kits, singing their Celtic, that, and just sitting at the other corner away for the sunshine. She wasn't allowed in the sun because you can't put suntan lotion in a newborn. And we just had a cracking time. It was the best time of my life. I just had my son all day. Took him, went down to the horse racing, with the horse racing pubs and stuff. I don't even like Benidorm, but I just had a cracking time anyway. It's one place in the world I want to go back to. But at the time, I just had a cracking time with my son. Had him all the time, and then at night time I would go out with my partner at the time. I didn't know if it was my partner because we're going to be partner. We've got to keep this going, and we're kind of talking if we fall out. And
So was she there on a girls' holiday basically?
no, a family holiday.
Family holiday. Right,
I don't
okay.
want to go too much.
Yeah, no, that's
stuff
fine.
like.
That's fine.
And we were going out every night and talking about splitting up kind of thing. And if we split up, we would do this and that. But every night she's kissing me, and there's even photos of us kissing. And on the last day, she says I was erratic on holiday. And I don't know where it came from. It was my mum's way as I know. So my mum's like, "Oh, you're in bed every night at 8 o'clock." Because I'd wake up in the morning, have my son all day at the theme parks doing what they're doing. I'm just sitting, pushing the pram and sitting with my son and just having a good time. And she's like, "You're a bit erratic on holiday." I was like, she says tell me I was erratic on holiday until the lawyers letter came. I'll get to that in a minute. We got back for holiday, and then we decided that I was going to get my son Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When she went to the gym, she wants to get herself fit and healthy again. And I was to pick him up at her place. I'll not say where she stays, but I was to pick her up at hers and drop her off at hers at 4 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I was need to get the weekends because she wanted to do things with me at the weekend. And I was just to get Monday, Wednesday. I was like, "That's fantastic. Can we put it down on the lawyers?" The minute she says aye on text, that's fine. I went to the lawyers sent a letter, and I got a letter back to the lawyers. We think it's in the best interest that you only get supervised access 2 hours on a Thursday with our auntie. And on the lawyer's letter, I was showing my phone, it says, because schizoaffective disorder, and he was bizarre on holiday. And I've got all the holiday pictures, videos, everything. There was nothing bizarre. My mum was ways, and
So you think it's just come out of nowhere?
it came out of nowhere. It's because of the fact that because this is lawyers, and it's triggered her.
And this is only weeks ago.
Weeks ago, aye.
So you come back from holiday, and I take it you've agreed on holiday that
Agreed on
you
holiday.
aren't in a relationship.
Aye.
Right.
We agreed on holiday. The day we came back, we agreed that was the end of it. The last time we got the bags off thing, she went, "I'll sort it with you." And then I was like, so I was supposed to get him on the Monday, and then there was a storm on. I don't know if you remember, there was a storm on the Monday in the start of August. The ScotRail trains were off, so the train couldn't take me from mine to hers, and she went off in one because I couldn't go through on the Monday. Says it's only a storm at Scotland. I was like, I can't travel through because
Well, the trains aren't on, then you can.
I can't travel through. So I'll see him on Wednesday, and I'll do Wednesday and Friday. And then she's like, "You're not getting them." And I was like, I sent the lawyer's letter, and I got the lawyer's letter back saying I was erratic on holiday and my mental health is unstable. Then I was supposed to get supervised access on the Tuesday for 2 hours with her auntie there. And I went to turn up on the Monday. I got a text message saying I'm not getting them. And I got a lawyer's letter with photos of me on social media saying I'm erratic on social media because I'm going through the custody battle again and I'm sharing it online.
So she went from supervised contact.
She went from contact to supervised contact to nothing because she says I'm erratic and it's my schizoaffective disorders. She says I'm imbalanced and mad.
I take it you haven't spoken to her since you came back from holiday.
Nah.
And I take it you're just heartbroken that this is history repeating itself.
I've already had the cry to my mum. Yesterday I broke down with my mum. And you've got to get your tears out, as I says to you earlier. You don't want to get the Army General and they've got to warn the Army General's greeting. You've got to get your tears out with somebody you love. So I sat with my mum, I got it all out. Sat with my CPN, got it out. My CPN doesn't understand it. I've got a psychiatrist next week to get it later. Nobody understands it. My mum doesn't understand it. I don't understand it. My sister doesn't understand it. My sister got blocked. My mum got blocked. I blocked her. She blocked me and I blocked her, and I went to add her back, and the wee face isn't there, so she blocked me as well. So it's
God's sake, man.
I'm at the lawyers now, and it's like I've missed my son for the last month, and I decided to just turn the camera on myself again and say, listen, I'm going to use that's why I believe, that's why I got in contact with the Voice for Dads. I'm going to leave behind how I'm living, my life story, my books and everything else, leave behind a philosophy so that I can imagine my son being 20 and 30 and 40. I imagine my daughter being 20, 30 and 40, and I imagine her being at a car steering wheel and have all the success in the world, have it all, but say, I'm going to wrap this car around this pole. Dad, I need your words. I need your philosophy. Dad, I'm driven to drive into this pole because you didn't love me, or something like that. Daddy did love you. Daddy did fucking love you, and Daddy done everything to be in your life. And I want to leave behind my philosophy and ideas that stop going through that pole. But at the same time, I've shared my story online, and other people are inspired by it because I'm living proof that you can change, and you can't change your character. I think our character's so ingrained, but we can change the things we do. We can change how we live and how we act, and we can change what we focus on. And when we change what we focus on, we can become better. Unlike Voice for Dads, I believe all dads should have a voice, whether good or bad, and we can all leave behind a message to our children when we're no longer here, because life will take us on. 100 years, there's going to be none of this left, and we can leave behind our voice to our children and their children's children and their children's children, and make the world a better place. So even if you're going through a custody battle, you go through the hard times in your life, you go through the shit in life, see the shit in life as like putting shit down as fertiliser. Don't throw away your shit, put it down as fertiliser, grow a beautiful life in a beautiful garden, and grow a beautiful world for our kids. For us to have purpose and meaning, the purpose behind our pain is for us to set up and be the example and use our voice for our kids. And that's what I believe, that's my message that I serve, and that's why I believe what you're doing is to give dads a voice, and that's what I've done, is use my voice, and I think we should all speak up.
Fantastic, William. Absolutely fantastic. And I think everything you've gone through, you've had a hell of a life up until now. But you appear to be coping very well.
But in the grand scale of things, I don't believe in religious. I'm no Buddhist, I'm no Christian and Muslim or Jewish. But I believe
the monk thing, then that's no more.
I believe in parts of I believe that Buddha might be a story, it might be a fairy tale.
Right.
But it made me a better person. So I always believe in Buddhism, I believe in Stoicism, the philosophy. But I believe in God, and I made my peace with God. And explain it simple is, imagine Celtic are playing Rangers, whether you're a Celtic fan or Rangers fan, it doesn't matter. I
hate football.
So to explain it to other people, then if you're Celtic or Rangers are playing, whatever side you're on, to the audience, and or imagine you say you supported Celtic. Celtic have won. You're watching the game, but you've recorded it, just like a podcast. Whatever, it's recorded, and you go to the nature, and out in nature you check the score. It's 4-3 to your team. And you go back into the house and you put it on, and your team's get beat 3-0 and I've got a red card in the first 10 minutes. But you're alright, you're like, it's 4-3. I know it's 4-3 because I checked the score before it's on. My belief in God is I've already made my peace with this planet. I know the final result, I know where I'm going. I know where I was and I know where I'm going before I came here. I made my peace with God and the planet. I know it's 4-3, and I know I'm with God, and I know God walks with me. Everything I've been through, God's with me, and God's given me this voice, and I'm speaking in a way that I believe that I've made my peace with myself, the planet, with my illness. I might have to take the medication for illness. So it's Socrates drank the poison. So it's like, I'll take the medication, I'll take what works, and I'll live a good life on this planet, and I'll leave behind a good message, I'll leave behind my stories, my philosophy, my ideas, and I'll be a voice for the people that might not have one now, but just to show that I've got a story. I believe in God, 100% believe in God. I see God as in the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, you, me, us, everything is part of it. Everything's your story, and using your belief in, my belief in God doesn't mean you believe in, this is what people say on the TikTok and stuff like that. Do you believe in Jesus? I'm not interested in Jesus. I like the story. I like other people's stories, and I'm just a story, you're a story, we're all a story, and it's just using our story to connect with God and connect to our spirit and make peace with our time on this planet, but at the same time have purpose to our pain and help other people.
Absolutely fascinating. Superb. Well, you're far more articulate than I am, so that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think everything you've been through, and the fact that you're facing this again, this might not be seeing your kid, or having to fight to see your kids, which shouldn't even be a thing. Just shouldn't be a thing, because the child, your child doesn't deserve to not have you in his life.
But he walks with me, and one day he'll walk with God, and he'll have his own story. So my son, I believe in my son, I believe in my daughter, and I believe they'll walk with God the way I walk with God. And they'll believe in their spirit, and they'll believe in their story. And my sister, my daughter's She likes art. She used to love art all the time, drawing. That's God's gave her that gift. And my son will have them as well when he grows up.
Well, I believe that the videos you put out are there forever, and that's good. You know, it's good that can't be taken away from you. I believe that your daughter will come round one day, and I hope that maybe social media or whatever, she can maybe reach out to you, you know, without her mum knowing, because it sounds like a situation that's so common.
She's more than welcome to text me.
Yeah, just get in touch with you.
She's still got my number, but I think her mum's blocked it. But she can TikTok me. She can.
Yeah. Our mum can't turn her against you forever.
Nah.
You know, my mum tried that with me and my dad, and they just can't do it. You know, as much as they try, it never happens. So
that's how we know it's for free.
Well, aye. And I hope that, considering it's so new and recent, you know, this situation with your son, I hope that turns round for the better, you know, and this woman just thinks, no, I need to do the right thing here.
Thanks a lot, Scott. I appreciate that, mate.
It's not a great situation to be in, you know, and she needs to think of her son, you know, put her son first rather than their own feelings.
But it's using that label of the illness against us, because I'm not erratic. I've got psychiatrists and CPNs. It just takes a while, because I've got a lawyer the day at 3 o'clock, in fact. So it's,
oh, do you?
Well, I've got 30 minutes. So,
but then we've got a woman who was in the holiday with you 4 weeks ago. Never done an issue then, you know. So it's just how's she going to defend herself?
She was telling my mum she loved me and she would never do that to me, and she wouldn't done it.
Well, she could change right now, couldn't she? She
could contact Voice for Dads and say, I seen William on Voice for Dads. He can see his son whenever he wants.
Yep. Just do it.
All what I do is see my son and take him to the park.
Yep.
And maybe 2 hours and take him for a Costa coffee again, take him to the park and drop him off. I've not been done with domestic violence. I've not done anything wrong.
And that was the other thing I was going to bring up. Everything you've been through, you're not a danger to your children.
No.
You're not a danger to children.
No.
You know.
And I never went to her house because I've not went to her house to chat the door, because what happened the last time is we explained the story with my daughter. I don't want to go to her house in case she phones and says you should have beat my house, so I don't even go there.
Yep.
I just want to pick up the phone to my sister and say, listen, come and see your son. I'm there. I'm available.
Well, I hope she does, and we'll be following and you know, to keep us updated.
100%, mate.
You know, and what happens next. Fascinating person to speak to. You're certainly a character, so yeah. But a really nice guy, you know, and I hope that you've went through, you know, shit times and there's not going to be any more of them. You know, I hope that's in the past. I hope you keep taking your medication if you feel that you realise
100% know that I need medication. That's why I've been so open on social media about the medication. People have reached out to take their medication because I'm taking mine. So I know that it can help people by me being open with my story of mental illness.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, millions of people every day in this country are on medication that they need. So it's no different, you know.
Because people are on TikToks and influencing people not to take their medication or listen to these people rather than psychiatrists and doctors. You need to listen to your doctor and psychiatrist. You need your healthcare professionals to help you know.
And that's come for you who didn't for over a decade.
So I apologise to my former self. I already know my 4-3 result. I made my peace. But if I had my life to live again and I had to show somebody else the way, I would say go to your psychiatrist and doctor, take the medication and live a fulfilling life. Don't go into hospitals. You don't need to go to the loony bin. I definitely know.
Well, thank you so much. That was a great podcast.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Appreciate it. And I believe in everything you're doing. I believe everything you're standing for. And
appreciate it.
Say thank you for having us on.
Have to do it, but you know, we do.
When your back's against the wall, that's all you've got left to do is fight back.
That's all you can do. But let's book in another one. You know, let's follow your journey as well and see you know what's to come for the future. You know, and your life, and it'd be good to just keep us updated and do another podcast in the future.
Thanks a lot, Scott. I appreciate that.
We'll put as an overlay your books and stuff and where to get them, because I really want to read them now. So I do.
Perfect.
But yeah, that's us then. Michael, all good?
All good.
All good. Thank you very much. And you say you've got an appointment in 30 minutes?
30 minutes with a lawyer.
Phone call appointment.
It's the same lawyer I had the last time, so hopefully it's a phone call.
Right, okay.
Same lawyer I had the last time, so I'll go through it again, and hopefully she'll just say it's like she'll stand up in court, and if it has to go that far, like she could easily sign the lawyer's letters and say out in access. I just want it documented writing because it's been turbulent with not having the access put in the paper.
You know, she can't blame you. Your son's mum can't blame you for saying you want it in black and white. You want to go through a lawyer because you want it just confirmed. You
want stability.
Aye, exactly.
That's all you need.
And as for your daughter, you know, having your daughter been in you've been in your daughter's life for so long. You know, the first 12 years of her life. She can't just have you removed. You know, it's going to do lasting damage. You know, her mum has to do the right thing here. But
You know, my mum can also reach out to us. She can reach out to us at Voice for Dads or reach out
Yeah.
to my TikTok. My mum can drive her
Yeah,
to my
yeah.
house door and drop my daughter off. My mum, I'll never welcome my mum into my house, but she can drop my daughter off at the door, or she can have a conversation with me in a CCTV area and say, well, I want you to see your daughter, and I'll sit down with the two of them. I also tried mediation with my daughter's mum, and she walked out of mediation
Oh, does she?
a long time ago. Aye.
So some people just can't win.
Aye.
You just can't win. But she needs to put her daughter first, and putting her daughter first is having you in her life. So she is.
100%.
Because it leaves lasting damage, lifelong damage. You know, if she gets ripped, if you get ripped from her life, and continue to be.
And that's why I use my voice. The way you're using Voice for Dads is, if I didn't use my voice, what do I look like in paper? I don't look like the guy you're talking to.
Yeah.
I look like an animal, somebody that's been in prisons and mental hospitals and stuff. I don't look like a person. And all I want to be is a person, a dad, somebody that gets to take their kids out.
Yep.
I'm not an animal. I've not done anything wrong to anybody. I've got out of prison nearly 20 years ago.
Yep.
I've not carried weapons in over 20 years. I've not been involved in that life for so long. And I've been at the mental hospital since 2022, and I'm taking my medication. I'm following every single plan, and there's no reason not to.
Yep. And you're only 39.
I know.
So you're still a young guy. You know, you're not even halfway through your life. So, you know, you can turn it. You can turn it.
Time's on our side. That's why I know it's for free.
Yeah. Love it. I love it. Right, well, we better wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming down. And on that note, we will finish up. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on the bottom. And we look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Cheers, guys. See you all soon.